So today I would like you to keep your palms facing up as you rest them on your lap for a reason. Later we will lift the hand also. Close your eyes. Take a slow deep breath. And as you breathe out, relax your body and relax your mind. Let all the worries of the world fade away into the distance as you center your attention deep in your heart, becoming conscious of your deepest aspirations. Like the glow of a flame deep within, becoming conscious of your deepest aspirations. Deep within the heart, like the glow of a flame, gently growing, gently glowing out, growing in its warmth, in its aspiration, until its glow begins to fill the whole of your chest. Like a gentle warmth, soothing, quiet, still, peaceful. And gently now let your awareness drift upwards towards the top of the head. Slowly gathering all your awareness at the top of the head. Gently gathering all your awareness at the top of the head and turning upwards, opening upwards, as if the top of your head opens out, becoming conscious of the vastness above. A vast ocean of peace, of presence, perhaps of light, becoming conscious of the vast ocean above the head. As you remain conscious of this, you can feel it grow perhaps more concrete, more dense, more intense. And gently let your awareness drift upwards, like a drop, gently merging into an ocean. Your awareness gently rising, merging into that vast. And you let yourself gently dissolve into that vast. Let all sense of separateness fade away. as you let yourself dissolve into that vastness which is vastness of the divine consciousness, vastness of the mother's form, infinite, vast. And you let yourself dissolve into that, merge into that, lose yourself in it. And gently, very gradually, you let your awareness once again gather from this immersion, like the swell of a wave gently gathering from the ocean, never separating, as if the whole ocean gently leans down, forming a swell, extending downwards, gently settling at the top of the head. Until you feel this gently pressing at the top of the head. A gentle swell of the vast ocean pressing at the top of the head, and then slowly let it flow down, filling and surrounding the head as a dense liquid substance of peace, gently settling, penetrating through the top of the head, spreading into your brain, filling and surrounding your brain and head. And let it continue to spread downwards, gently spreading its soothing sensation of dense liquid peace. Spreading its soothing sensation, perhaps felt as a cooling or a warming sensation, but dense, soothing, spreading down, filling your brain, spreading down in your head, all the way down until it begins to extend into the neck, spreading its dense, soothing peace, filling and surrounding the neck. And gently settling on the shoulders and penetrating down into the chest. Let your awareness drift once again towards the top of the head, gathering at the top of the head, becoming conscious of the vast ocean of peace above and its vastness. And let a fresh stream of that peace flow down through the top of the head, filling and surrounding, and moving down in one continuous flow, filling and surrounding the head and the neck, and flowing down into the chest, filling the shoulders and the upper part of the chest, and gently spreading down, filling the whole of the chest. And slowly overflowing through the shoulders into the arms, flowing down through the upper arms, spreading a soothing sensation, perhaps cooling or warming, and flowing down into the forearms and hands, where you can feel the denseness of this liquid as it fills your hands, fills your fingers, until your hands and forearms feel almost as if they're heavier, more dense, as if swollen. Feeling this dense presence surrounding the hands, surrounding the forearms, as if you're wearing thick, dense gloves. And gently once again let your attention draw towards the top of the head, becoming conscious of the vast ocean above, and let a fresh stream of that ocean flow down through your whole being in one continuous flow, filling and surrounding the head, neck, shoulders, chest and arms, and flowing down into the abdomen, spreading a soothing, dense, liquid peace down through the hips, into the thighs, down through the knees, through the calves, all the way to the feet, until the entire leg is filled with this dense peace, filling and surrounding, extending beyond the outlines of the skin, as if your legs are bloated, your feet are bloated, larger, till you become now conscious of the entire body, filled with this peace, dense, unshakable, soothing, cooling or warming, filling the whole being and surrounding the body form, surrounding the arms, hands, surrounding the shoulders and back, surrounding the entire torso and surrounding the legs, as if you're wearing a thick, dense spacesuit, as if your whole body is bloated with this dense peace. And let it flow further around in the surrounding cocoon of your awareness, of your aura. Let the peace fill the whole aura surrounding you. Until you feel your whole being filled with this dense, unshakable peace, like a marble statue, opening upwards to the vast ocean of peace above, peace, light, power, gently flowing from above, filling this jar, this vase, this container that is your whole being. And flowing down from above in a single movement, filling and surrounding your head, neck, chest, arms, legs, and surrounding in a dense cocoon of peace and presence. Remain immersed in this for a while. Notice your thoughts are naturally silent, your emotions are silent, your body is still, effortlessly. Gently now bring your attention to your right arm and your right hand, becoming conscious of the peace that fills and surrounds the hands as if you're wearing thick gloves, like your hands are bloated. Feel this awareness extending around the hand. This is an awareness of the subtle physical part of the hand. Feel the same on the left hand, conscious of that bloated extension around the hands, as if your hands are swollen or wearing thick gloves. And that larger extended thickness feels more dense even than the physical substance of the hands. Gently will in your hands for this awareness to intensify. Intensify the awareness of your hands. And feel in that intensification an upward aspiration, as if the substance of your hand yearns towards the divine above. Yearns and aspires to feel, to know, to receive the divine peace, light, and love. And let your hands' awareness gently turn upwards like a flame in aspiration, invoking the peace and light and love, offering themselves as instruments in service of the divine. And gently let this feeling, this aspiration extend into the whole being as a general feeling in the whole body, as if your whole body becomes more intensely aware and turns upwards in aspiration, aspiring for the divine peace, light, and love to descend from above and fill it, infuse itself in it, in the substance of the body. Let all the substance of your body offer itself to the divine above, to be an instrument for the divine, to have no other purpose than to serve the divine. And gently now, gradually, bring your attention to your right hand and the right index finger, the pointing finger of the right hand. Conscious of this dense extension around the hand and of the finger, and very slowly, very gently, let your pointing finger slowly move as if to point, as if separating from the other fingers to point. But feel the bloated extension around, the dense, subtle physical layer around. And feel it extending beyond the fingertips. Notice that it extends well beyond the fingertips to a great distance. Try to feel how far it goes. The subtle physical substance of your finger extends beyond the fingertip to a great distance, perhaps even to infinity, as if. And now, very slowly, very gently, you will lift your right hand or let it rise of its own. And the goal will be to slowly move it, very slowly, with the finger pointing, and to bring the pointing finger to touch your forehead very gradually over a few minutes, slowly. Very slowly, over a few minutes, let your hand slowly rise and slowly turn to point towards the forehead, but from a distance. From a distance, slowly pointing towards the forehead. And then from a distance, as it points towards the forehead, gently, gradually let it drift towards the forehead, as slowly as you can. So that you can feel all the layers that it penetrates as it approaches the forehead. You will notice your finger as if penetrating layers and layers which are more dense. But you will also notice as if something of the finger's extension is already inside the head, but layers of that also penetrating inside. Notice all these subtle layers as your finger approaches the forehead. Until gradually, eventually, the grossest physical part of the finger gently touches the forehead. And it's a bit of a surprise when it touches. And once you've touched the physical finger to the physical forehead, you can let your hand come back to rest where it was. It was just an experiment to notice the layers and layers of the subtle substance that the finger had to penetrate before the physical part touched. And now we bring our awareness back to the whole physical body and the subtle physical layer around it. And then becoming conscious once again of that flame of aspiration deep within the heart. Let your attention gather in that. The flame of aspiration deep within the heart, becoming conscious of it. And as you grow conscious of it, let it extend, let it grow, let it fill your whole being. That your whole being shares in this aspiration. And let all your awareness gently turn upwards, aspiring to the divine above. Aspiring to the vastness of the Divine Mother above. Aspiring to the peace and the light and the love of the Divine Mother above, giving yourself entirely to her. And gently now, very gradually, you will prepare yourself to open your eyes. And try to maintain this awareness of the upward aspiration everywhere, of the subtle physical extension surrounding your gross physical body, even after you've opened your eyes. And gently now, when you feel yourself ready, you can let your eyes half open, maintaining this inward awareness as far as possible. Until with eyes open, you're able to feel the subtle, physical, dense layer around the body, around the gross body. Perhaps even you can feel the awareness extending around you like a cocoon. Keep this awareness as far as possible. And afterwards, when you go for lunch, you will find it quite easy if you just become quiet, inwardly turned, perhaps with eyes closed, and just become aware, you will feel these things easily. The awareness is still very vivid. It can stay with you for a long time. Remain like this with eyes open. It's important to extend this experience with eyes open. Although it's tempting to keep the eyes closed, take the trouble to open them and keep this awareness with eyes open. If necessary, you may adjust the position of your body to make it more comfortable. And you may remain in silence for a while, or if you have questions, we can briefly discuss them for another 5 minutes. Did you notice when your finger was approaching the forehead, how many layers it had to cross? You could feel distinctly the finger moving through layers, and then as if something of the finger already entering your head, and layers of it, denser and denser fingers entering. Isn't it? And the last part you thought you had already touched, and yet you could go on. That was the densest part of the subtle physical. And finally, when your gross body touches gross body, it's almost an anticlimax. It feels so fickle, isn't it? Because the dense, subtle physical is actually more dense, more vivid, more real than the gross physical.
Sometimes it looks like an imagination rather than the perception or feeling.
So, when you are more centered in the physical body substance and awareness, the subtle feels vague, unreal. But when you are more in the subtle substance, subtle body awareness, your gross physical feels vague, unreal. Because they're so different in vibrational density. So when you are in that state, the gross body feels vague. When you come back to the gross physical sensation, especially opening the eyes, at first suddenly all that fades out. You close your eyes and again you can feel it. That's why it's important to extend the awareness with eyes open. Then you can keep it like this in your daily activities. So this exercise we did for pointing and touching was only an experiment to make you experience these layers and so many layers of density. All of this is your real being. The gross body is just a tiny layer in the most dense part. All this stuff is part of you, is your body, your whole being. And so much more happens in these layers than the gross physical, and we're unconscious of them. And it's through the process of the yoga, you become conscious of these layers, you become conscious of what's happening there, and then you're able to operate on all these levels simultaneously. So for you personally, when you follow up the descent of the peace, the awakening of the aspiration, etc., that's much more important. Becoming conscious of these subtle layers is good. The hand pointing process was just an experiment. It's not necessary to do that. And You can see how by shifting your awareness, you can acquire awareness of these things. You do not need any techniques and methods. And this is the direct method that Sri Aurobindo recommends, turning the attention and becoming aware and doing it directly. You don't need to do long periods of asanas and breathing or Tai Chi exercises to become aware of the subtle body. You just shift attention and you're there. So when I did this once with a group of Yogasana teachers in Switzerland, about 80 or 100 of them, afterwards one of them came and said, every day I do 2 hours of Tai Chi exercises. At the end of that, I'm able to feel this swollen extension of the subtle body. And here we just concentrated, we went up, we came down, and poof, it was there. It was so easy. You will notice in all the martial arts, they have complex exercises to awaken to this awareness. That's what Tai Chi really does. But you can get to it directly. Those methods are useful when you're not able to concentrate to get to it directly. And once you are in that subtler awareness, it's easy to awaken in the gross physical awareness also, the intensify the consciousness and to awaken in it an aspiration. So our goal in this was just to touch these experiences briefly. Once you have the experience, you do not need to go through a long process. You can simply turn your attention and do it. And this is the direct method. And once you can do it like this, you can do it in the midst of any activity. Our intention in this exercise was to get you to a point where you experience something, and then you have to follow up on your own to develop and deepen the experience. So we'll end with this. Oh.